coming up with a fantastic product. Because if it is a growth mindset culture, what you will say? Oh, everyone makes mistakes. This is just another thing which I can learn from. Let me move on, right? And how do you judge people? Do you judge the ability of a fish by how it can climb a tree? Or do you really judge people by their abilities? Do you empower them? Do you support a learning culture? Do you allow people to take calculated risk in your organization? Do you lift others as leaders? If you won't embrace a growth mindset, this is the important things you need to do. Are you or your boss suffering from the CEO disease, which was a word introduced in that book by Carol Dweck? Means, CEO disease means when you say, I'm always right, when I am on the chair at the meeting, I only speak, nobody else speak, you only listen, go home, do whatever you want. Whatever I ask, not whatever you want. So, is your organization a know-it-all or learn-it-all organization? So some of the ways you can embrace these things is, organization is value talent over effort, value ability to learn and grow, okay? Don't be too much concerned about success. Encourage the hard work people are doing, the learning they are coming. Like this, there are many things you can embrace. Why? Because in every organization, we are always, every single day, every leader is striving for two things. What is that? Operational excellence, getting things faster, cheaper, right? Or innovation for the future. What is this fueled by? Growth and learning. So you have to embrace this culture. Why you have to embrace this culture? Because there are 6 generations working in organizations right now. And Gen Alpha is coming. They are doing the exams all over this year for the first time. First batch of Gen Alpha is doing all of this. So, COVID might come, pandemics, AI, of course, disrupting everything. The future is going to be very digital. We can't even recognize ourselves whether we are cyborgs or robots or not, or human beings. We are in between. So we have to embrace this, right? So we have to embrace more human qualities. We have to embrace growth mindset. One of the things which I'm going to leave with you is a very powerful word. This is actually one thing which can change your mindset from a fixed mindset to growth mindset, the power of yet. So whenever you say, our organization is not good at this, you say, we are not good at this yet. You know, our formula is not the best city in the world yet. If you say we are not the best city, what happens? Your brain goes and affirms it, and we will become like Male. Yeah? So, I won't end our speech, my talk, with a small poem. All right? So, this poem is written by, I want you to do something. When I read this poem, tell me whether he is growth mindset or fixed mindset. Okay, this is the test. So this guy is called Jonathan Reed. He wrote this poem. The poem goes like this. I am part of a lost generation, and I refuse to believe that I can change the world. I realize this may be a shock, but happiness comes from within is a lie. Money will make me happy. So in 30 years, I will tell my children they are not the most important thing in my life. My employer will know that I have my priorities straight because work is more important than family. I tell you this, once upon a time, families stayed together. But this will not be true in my era. This is a quick fix society. Experts tell me 30 years from now, I will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my divorce. I do not concede that. I will live in a country of my own making. In the future, environmental destruction will be the norm. No longer can it be said that my peers and I care about the earth. It will be evident that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It is foolish to presume that there is hope. What do you think? Fixed mindset or growth mindset? Fixed, right? So, it's a very fixed mindset. But, you know, he's a great guy. He actually wrote this poem in such a way. When you actually reverse the thinking, the things which you tell to yourself, when you say yet, you become growth mindset. Let's read it from the bottom up, right? There is hope. It is foolish to presume that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It will be evident that my peers and I care about this earth. No longer can it be said that environmental destruction will be the norm. In the future, I will live in a country of my own making. I do not concede that I will be celebrating 10th year of my divorce 30 years from now. Experts tell me this is a quick fix society, but this will not be true in my era. Once upon a time, families stayed together. I tell you this, family is more important than work. I have my priorities straight because my employer will know that things in my life, they are not the most important thing in my life. So in 30 years, I will tell my children, money will make me happy is a lie. I realize this may be a shock, but I can change the world, and I refuse to believe that I am part of a lost generation. How beautiful. Doesn't he? Come on. All right. So fixed mindset to growth mindset is a journey. It's not one day thing or something people have, or someday you will be growth mindset or fixed mindset. So I just want to leave you with this message. So it is very important. Think when you go back after today. What is the one thing you can do? You can do to embrace growth mindset for yourself, your people, and your organization. Thank you very much. It has been really a pleasure and an honor to... Okay, never mind. Thank you. And you can connect me on LinkedIn, and we can talk further about becoming professional speakers or about your growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Iyaz Wahid, for an insightful and thought-provoking presentation. We now move to our second keynote presentation. The topic is Agile Leadership for People Leaders. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim, President of MAHRP, back to the stage.
Okay, and then. All right, Assalamu alaikum. Rabbi srahli sadri vaisrali amri wahlul uqbat min lisani yafqahu qawli. A very good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. I would like everyone to give a very big round of applause to Mr. Iyaz for his wonderful speech just now. Yeah. So just to take on from the growth mindset, I would like to give you another approach, another mindset or a culture that you could inculcate in the beautiful city of Formula. I got inspired. I had a different slide when I came here, but I got inspired with the tiger sharks of Formula. And that's why I have changed my slides, the cover slide for that. Just imagine, how many of you know the three most dangerous sharks in the world? And is tiger shark one of them? What's the most dangerous sharks across the oceans in the world? Anyone? The great white. And the second one is? Tiger shark. The third one is? Come on, this is the Shark Island. We have a beautiful series in Netflix all about the shark, all the sharks. Yeah, looking at the eye of the tiger. The third one is bull shark. Yeah, imagine if our mayor Ismail and also our vice director Amir goes on a snorkeling in the south side of Formula. Are you guys imagining that? But they are going on a snorkeling. Yeah? The fins, they did not put their fins on their feet. They were holding it. They went on a snorkel. Because tiger shark, being the second dangerous shark, I would consider them as friendly for the audience here, because that's the brand of formula. So let's say they were going on a snorkel and they meet a great white shark. But their fins, they were not putting their fins, they were holding their fins. Yeah? One institution, our council, and the other leader is from Zikura College. Yeah? So they go on a snorkel. So what happens then? They see a great white shark. What would happen to them? What will they feel? What will they feel? What will they do? They'll start swimming, yeah? But what happens is Ismail said that I'm going to put on my fins and then I'll start swimming. And Amir said, how can we outrun, how can we outswim the white shark? Because it's the great white shark. And they saw it from very close distance. But Ismail said, I'm not going to outswim the great white shark. What he's going to do? From the economy section, from the cargo section, what's Ismail going to do? Yes, Ismail's going to outrun Amir. Yeah? Because Ismail will, outswim Amir, and rest is history. So this is what agile means. This is about agile leadership. So either you outsmart your competitors or they will take over. Yeah, so I'll be taking you through what agility means and some of the approaches and mindset and cultures that you could adopt in your institutions in order to be agile. And also I will give you a bit of explanation or definition of what agile is and some of the examples, some of the case studies that you could learn and apply in your institutions. Yeah, when you come to your office places early in the morning, and every day when you come and you have that mindset that everything is working perfectly in your institutions. So that's the time that you need to be really thinking about to do something about your career. Sounds familiar? Yeah, it's very familiar, yeah? When we come to our workplaces, our offices, and when we see very normal days and everything is going perfect. And if that mindset you have that every day things are going smoothly and nothing's going to change, that means you need to be thinking about yourself. You have just now mentioned about growth mindset. So that's the time that you need to be thinking about either to leave or to change something. Yeah, think about yourself. When is the last time that you had this kind of feeling or this kind of thoughts with yourself? Or are you all having that kind of thought now? Anyone who has that kind of thought now? That everything is okay, family is okay, Formula City, the leaders, the senior leaders are doing what they need to do. I'm okay, I'm good, like in the safe zone. Yeah, so when you encounter that kind of thoughts or an emotion, that's the time that you need to be thinking about all these things that you're learning today. Yeah, let me take you back to what agile and what is this transformation has done over the years in the history. Yeah, there's something called Industry 1.0 till Industry 5.0. There's a revolution which has happened in the world. So it started way back. The Industry 1.0 is way back in 18th century. Yeah, because it started this transformation with the farmers where things become a bit of mechanized and the hand looming where all our clothes were made with machines. So that was way back in 1700s. And then came the Industry 2.0, the steam engines, the assembly lines, yeah, factory workers. And then came the computer generation where the cyber security and the networks. And then we have currently 5.0, which is transformation. Yeah, digital transformation, and now we have AI transformation. So the world historically has been evolving. And as I mentioned in my, at the first opening remark also, after 2010, things have been extremely dramatic in the world. So it's not at the same pace which things have been evolving and progressing over past 2-3 centuries. After 2010, with the AI transformation, things has exponentially 100 times things have advanced and expanded, and it is happening as we speak. So we live in uncertain world every day. So the question is, how do we navigate through this? Let me tell you a bit on what's the meaning of this agile, how this agile word came into the management world. So it started in 2001 from the software industries, because agility, the agile practices is not actually initially evolved from management. It evolved from IT sector, because they do their softwares and then they take a lot of time to bring those products into the market because of the documentation, because of the contracts and the requirements that is gathered in the initial phase, and then things get very slower. So a lot of people gathered in the world to see how they can bring those products quickly to the market. So that's where this agility came in 2001. That's the first time in the world this agile term came into the management practice. So to bring products quickly to the market, regardless of the processes that is happening in the IT software development part of those functions. Yeah, so there's something called a manifesto, and they have 4 values, which they value some of the interactions, the collaborations, and also the customer collaboration, responding to change. Quickly they respond to the customer's needs and requirements so that the software will come quickly to the market. So this is the concept of agile or agility in workplaces. The question is about agile leadership and agile mindset. So we are living in Industry 5.0, yeah, AI transformation, and there's something called agile mindset 5.02. So how many of you think that you are at the 5.0 agile mindset today, right now? May I see raise of hands, please? Who think that you have this kind of mindset, where quality, the customer service, the speed of excellence is at your core. You believe that. And then consistently every day you have that kind of mindset. How many of you think that you have that kind of mindset? Yeah, please keep your hand. We need to take a good picture of them, yeah? Ismail and Amir, yeah? So this is where we want to. Thank you from the cargo section, yeah? Very good. So this is where, if you are not there, this is where we want to be. We want this Afon city to be the #1 city in the world, not in the Maldives. I think you are the #1 city in the Maldives as we speak. But if you think that you are, well, yeah. So if you all think that we are good, we are better than other cities, like Yas just now mentioned, I mean, growth mindset is every day we need to see what can we do better than yesterday. Yeah, so it actually adds, it goes hand in hand with as growth mindset, this agile mindset. So this is an extension or an addition to growth mindset, because growth and fixed mindset is the beginning of this mindset, and this agile mindset is a little bit of advanced mindset, where you want to be the #1 in the world or be at the top of the game in terms of your institutions. I mean, may it be telecom, may it be transport, may it be councils. Yeah, together, how can we be at the top? So let's see what are the approaches that we could adapt to inculcate this kind of mindset within us. Yeah, as a community. So before that, I would like to again share with you a very important distinction that we all forget to do. And we confuse ourselves because these words keep, sharing in conferences and also in articles and in the literature. There's something called adoption and there's something called transformation. So we talk about bringing those practices, and then we call ourselves transformation. So let me share you a distinction between adoption and transformation. So we bring a practice which is happening in another city, for example in Kuldufushi. So we see, or maybe another institution like another diving center, which you see maybe in Indonesia or Japan or Egypt. So you're bringing one of those, only that practice to formula, and then you wanted to practice, implement it, and thinking that it's going to work. But the thing is, it doesn't work. Because we think that if we bring flexibility, if we bring maybe working from home, which is working in other places, to our institutions, and we think that it's going to work successfully, that's a wrong approach. That's called adoption. That's why things are not actually transforming or not executing as the amount that you all feel that it should, and how much it should execute or work in your organization. And the next one is called transformation. So that's where the whole thing from a caterpillar to a butterfly. That means you change from who you are to a different being. Yeah, like Afif mentioned that after these trainings you go with all this knowledge that you gain, you will go and walk in a different way. So it's sort of like in a journey of transformation. But it's been stopped, usually with people who have not attended those programs. So transformation is changing the whole entirety, the whole institution, the whole city. Rather than adoption is just bringing here and there from practices from different parts of the world and trying to implement it, which really doesn't work. So it's a very important distinction we all need to understand. Because we have an affinity to learn from Google's, from Microsoft, from Male City, from Formula City, from other Addu cities, and bring those small things. For people who are working in Durago, you might bring some practice from Uridu. Yeah, just one practice and try to implement it. It won't work. The whole system, it's an entirety, all-inclusive system. When we apply, it's called transformation. All clear? Let me give you an example. For example, in Formula City, that you wanted to introduce something for the road maintenance. How do we maintain? Because you have an amazing network of roads here in Formula City, one of the best I have seen across the islands in the world. Yeah, it's very amazing. Yeah, this is the time. So amazing network, the road network you have. How do we maintain it? So maybe you might, Ismail might do some process re-engineering. You might have standing meetings, you might have new processes, and also work flexibility, faster project delivery, and team level. So you might do different things just for that process. Yeah, that is called agile doing, not being agile. So just bring in different practices. But agile transformation means the whole citizen first kind of mindset. It's not only that means the road development, no, the maintenance cannot be done by the city council alone. We have other agencies like fire, we have MNDF, we have police, we have city, we have colleges, we have other institutions. So in order for that particular thing to work, he needs to engage everyone and holistically bring that change. That's where the real transformation happens. So just getting one practice of 2-3 practices and implementing it, it will not work. So that's the difference between, and we hear many times, when we have meetings, when we have social gatherings, that this practice is not working. That particular practice is not working. Why this flexible thing is not working? We want people to give the freedom for their attendance, so it's not about the person who comes to office on time and who leaves on time are the people who actually performs. People who perform are people who achieve their goals regardless of the time they come. So how do we do that? So we give flexibility, it gets worse. You know what I mean, yeah? So we all are trying to give flexibility, but it's not working. Not in the whole Maldives is not working. We attended the civil service conference recently, and that's the main hot topic there, to give flexibility. But it's not working. Why it's not working is because of this. Because we are adopting, we are not transforming the whole system. The values, the ethics, the work ethics that we have, yeah, the collaboration between interagencies. So the whole system need to be in place in order for this city to be transformed to the next level. So last night, Afif mentioned so many times about the mindset, the culture, how we work collaboratively with interagency collaboration. So that's the foundation, the bedrock for the city to go to the next level. There's some of the barriers. Yeah, the number one barrier, this is a research from Harvard University. The number one barrier for agile transformation is the, what does it say? Number one barrier? The culture. The culture is the number one barrier. The mindset of the people, the culture of the people, their belief is the number one barrier for agile transformation. Because we don't have a choice now. You are the Shark Island. You are known across the world now because of the Netflix series. I mean, who did it is amazing. You know, that's world class how they brought that Netflix series. I mean, they incorporated Formula in that series, and they're now in the list of the world. I mean, top of the shark places in the world. So now you don't have a choice. Your choice is to elevate to the next level. So you need to transform as a city. All the institution needs to transform. So number one is the culture. I would like, take 30 to 40 seconds and talk to your partner about what is this culture. Do you have that kind of resistance in your workplaces on culture for the transformation? All right, take 30 seconds. Please go and talk to your partners who is left and right to you. Okay. All right, come on back. Yeah. So how many of you have, say that you have the culture issue, the resistance? Number one is culture. How many? You all think that? Some of you? Yes? So this is what research shows. So if you have that, you need to be thinking about it. Yeah? So I will leave you with the 5 approaches that you could bring as a leader, because to be leader, you don't have to have a title. So everyone in this room is a leader. But as leaders, we go through a roller coaster, because it's not easy. Because you have your job, and then you start, and then you have your aspirations, a lot of downfalls. You have that darkness sometimes. You have good days, bad days, and then you try to reach your goal or destination. So leadership basically is a roller coaster. Yeah? Leadership is a roller coaster. The question is, how do we navigate that leadership role in these uncertain times? Yeah? And leadership is, everything rises and falls on leadership, because if the leader is not performing, that means the whole institution or the organization will not be able to perform. And it rises and falls to the level of leadership. So that's what we were talking about, the culture. Yeah? I will share with you 5 mindset approaches for agile, to being agile, and we have an acronym also for agile. So number 1 is adaptability. A is adaptability. How do we adapt to the changes which is happening, rapid changes? I mean, how do we remain relevant in these changes as individuals, as leaders, because we all are leaders here. How do we embrace change, and how do we navigate through these turbulent waters? The second one is growth mindset, which Yaz have already mentioned and covered extensively about what growth mindset is. Yeah, how do we do things better than yesterday? How do we bring that our best self to work and grow? This is an approach, it's a mindset, so which we all know what growth mindset means. And the third one is being innovative. So if you want to be agile, if you want your institutions and as a city to be agile, we have to embrace the mindset of innovation. I mean, creativity. How do we bring the kind of, for example, you have brought that innovation of the Tiger Island, the Netflix series. So that's a great example of your innovation which is happening in Formula City. So how do we bring that to the next level? So that's a great example. But we need to bring more in order for you to go to the next level, different marketing approaches so that we will be in the world map for many, many years. Yeah, and the L or the fourth one is lead with purpose. It's very important why we are doing what we are doing. We need to remember every day, we need to think about why we are doing what we are doing as a city, as an institution. And also as a person, why do we do what we do? So we as leaders need to lead with purpose. And the last one is empathy, the humanness, the humanity that we need to bring to our workplaces, to our families, to our communities. How do we listen deeply to other human beings? We need to actively listen to them, be there for them, take care of them. We give love and care to our team members, to our community. So the empathy. It's different between empathy and sympathy. So how do we think in other person's shoes and then deliver that service, the service excellence mindset to our citizens and to ourselves as well? Yeah, so the framework is agile, being adaptable, growth mindset, being innovative, lead with purpose, and the last one is empathy. Yeah, I would like to leave you all with this approach and mindset. I hope that all the participants from all the institutions will embrace this kind of agility, the agile mindset, the agile culture in your organizations, so that we will be, as a team, as a city, go to the next level. We climb to the next level. And I hope that in many, many years to come, that you will remain as one of the best cities in the Maldives, and we'll be able to put our footprint in the world map in many, many other different aspects as we go along. Yeah. With that, I will close my sharing and hope that you have learned something on the agile leadership, and you will be able to take back to your workplaces and start implementing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim, for sharing your valuable knowledge and practical insight. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a 15 minutes networking and refreshment break. Please enjoy the refreshment and take this opportunity to connect with fellow participants. Kindly return to your seats by 10:50 as we continue with our panel discussion. Refreshment is arranged at the back of the hall next to the cargo section.
All right, so you have tea and coffee at the back. It is important to stand up, walk around if you want to go outside, but make sure you're back here right at 10:50, which is 15 minutes, I suppose, from now on, so we can start on time. Next up coming is a panel discussion, which is going to be wonderful. Thank you. Before we do that, may I ask how many of you have learned something new today? Very good. In fact, turn to the person next to you and say, did you learn anything today? Tell them, did you learn anything? Yeah. And then and turn back and tell them, not enough. Tell them, not enough. You need to learn more. Tell them, you need to learn more. Very good. So we started this morning session with a great keynote by Iyaz on growth mindset. If you're a business leader, people's leader, and in today's world, it's not only HR who is responsible for people, we are all responsible. So Iyaz did that great keynote and followed by Ahmad speaking about if we learn something from somewhere, we must do something about it so that the transformation can happen, which is really the agile leadership. Very nicely shared. Once again, can we all give a round of applause to Ahmad and Iyaz for the great keynote? Right? Now we are ready. I'm really excited for this great panel discussion because all the colleagues from the panel, moderator, speakers, except one. You from this city, from I know you come here more than anyone. Well, you can speak to Mayor for those citizenship, residency here. Right, Fahud is, by the way, one of the MAHRP EXCO member. So they're going to have this great conversation. To do that, please put your hands together for our MC, Fatong, to take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Afif. Welcome back, everyone. We now move to what promises to be an engaging and insightful discussion. Today's panel discussion is titled 21st Century Mindset for People and HR Teams. Our panel will be moderated by Mr. Shafiu Ali, Dean, Faculty of Business and Computer Science, Zikura International College. Joining him are our distinguished panelists, Dr. Aishat Azda, Senior Lecturer, Islamic University of Maldives, Mr. Aslam Rashid, Secretary General, Formula City Council, Mr. Ahmad Ina, Owner, Pelagic Divers Formula, Mr. Fahudullah Yamin, Assistant General Manager, Organizational Capability and Learning, MTCC. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our moderator and distinguished panelist. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. So today in this panel, we will be talking about or discussing some important aspects beyond the traditional HR understanding. And with me, we have experts in the academia as well as we have industry experts. So we hope we will be able to get great ideas and our mindset will change after this panel discussion. We do have around 40 to 45 minutes, so I'll directly start asking the questions to the panelists. We will take some questions as well as at the end we will give opportunity for audience to ask the questions. We'll be passing the microphone to you so that you can ask the questions. All right, so I would like to ask my first question to Fahud. When you look at the Maldives today, what do you believe is the biggest shift HR professionals need to make in their mindset to make sure that they remain relevant in the next decade?
Thank you for the question. I believe that the biggest shift that is going to happen is we moving from people management to capacity building. I think in the session today, they have been highlighting that we are living in a VUCA world, that we are having a lot of impact from external environment. So external factors are getting bigger and bigger, especially the technology. So we need to have organizations that can adapt, that can transform. But the first thing that we have to address is that we have to make a future-ready organization. For that, we need to build employee future-ready. So we need to focus on the capability building of the people in the organization. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Fahud. Dr. Azda, you have been in the academia for quite some time. I would like to ask you about, we often speak about human resources, but many organizations are now focusing on human capital instead of the traditional human resource concept. So is there any difference between these two? If there is so, does it really matter?
Assalamu alaikum. Hope all of you are doing great. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, MAHRP, for hosting this great event here in Formula, our homeland. Coming back to your question, understanding the difference between human resource and human capital is very important when we talk about the 21st century HR practices. It's not actually about how it operates. The difference between human resources and human capital is not just like we are choosing just a fancy word. It's more than that. It's about how you look at the person across from you. So when we talk about human resources, we are actually considering people as a resource, like an equipment. We acquire them, we deploy them, and we replace when needed. So the language itself treats people as a cost that need to be controlled. But unlike that, when it comes to human capital, it considers people as an investment. So investment means like people's, their skills, their knowledge, their experience, and all these things actually appreciate over time if we develop them. So it becomes a competitive advantage for the organization. So we actually don't depreciate our most valuable asset, isn't it? Rather, we invest in it. So the practical difference between human resource and human capital can be seen in how organizations make decisions. For example, let's say if an organization with an HR mindset, they would be actually asking questions like, how can we be more compliant? How can we fill our vacancies? But if an organization with a human capital mindset, they'll be asking questions like, what is our return on investment in people? What kind of skills do we need for the next 3 years? Or are we developing our talent pipeline, or are we always buying it from outside? So mainly the practical difference lies with the way we see things, the mindset. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. As in the keynote address of the president of the MAHRP, Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim, you were talking about bringing Netflix to the formula. The person who brought the Netflix to the formula is Mr. Ina, who is also one of our panelists. So I would like to ask one question to Ina. In your experience, what are the characteristics of organizations in the Maldives that are successfully attracting, engaging, and retaining the talent? What characteristics do you find?
I think someone from one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in private sector in the island and the biggest growing sector in the Maldives. I don't know much about government offices, big corporation. What I can tell is what we do. It's a small organization for now, but I've taken some notes so I don't, overtalk on these things. But I think one of the most important thing that as an organization you can just do is, for example, my organization, we don't have a HR team. Everyone is the team. So I don't like to have a separate department, and I get it as a small operation, we are able to do it, but if it is a bigger operation, it's a different story. So we don't have that to start with. The second thing that I personally did is, when I worked for 17, 18 years at the different resorts in Maldives, I created an environment where everything I hated about resorts, working as an employee, I made sure my employees doesn't go through that. So first thing I did when I created the brand and the working environment, we made sure like our organization is attractive to the rest of the dive community in the Maldives. So to do that, I didn't even necessarily look for the best talent in the industry. What I look for is the people that I trusted most in my circle, or people that I have knew over the years that I've worked in the industry. So I hired few people who I really trust. And for example, Rom, he's not even a diver. He's someone that I grew up with. I trust him blindly, 100%. So we, together, we created this organization that is that is very attractive to the rest of the dive community. That's one of the things. The brand itself doesn't have to be the best service provider or best safety provider. It has to be also for the employees that works as well. So, and then the other thing is, I also, as the owner of the organization, I don't micromanage. What I always tell to my staff is, you have to be excited to wake up in the morning and go to work. I'm not gonna tell you what to do and what not to do, but here is my parameters. Here's the service standard that I wanna achieve. Here's the safety standard that I wanna achieve. How do you do it? I don't care how you do it. I don't care what time you show up to work. I don't care when you leave from work. But as long as at the end of the day it's done, that's all that matters. So I think the industry as a whole, we should stop looking at people as an SOP. You know, all the organizations are really focused on standards and procedures, but I think it works to a certain degree, but it also, at the end of the day, we are talking about human, and every human is different. Everyone wake up in a different time, everyone go to bed different time, everyone feel rested in the morning if they sleep different hours. So I don't really care about those things as long as the job is done. So that's what our organization, it works very well for us.
All right. I think we can relate that with the agile leadership that Ahmed was talking about in his keynote. We need to focus on a holistic approach instead of just focusing on one or two areas. Let me ask my next question to Mr. Aslam, the Secretary General of Formula City Council. Many organizations still view HR as just an administrative function. How can HR professionals position themselves as strategic partners to the leadership and business success?
Thank you, Shafi. And also thank you, MAHRP, for this great opportunity to Formula. Now, when you think about HR, we are talking about traditionally, and the way we understand HR, it is always about very routine type of work. So you hire people, you do performance appraisal, you also do their payroll, and these type of very routine type of works. But when you talk about really contributing to decision making, HR is more wider than that. There are so many other aspects that HR really has to focus on. Now, the way I may have mentioned, we have already changed in Formula City Council. First thing is the name. We have changed the name. Now it is people and culture. So that itself means we are not only thinking about really doing these very routine type of work. We'll have to do more beyond that. Now, one thing I notice or I want to emphasize is now the staff, specifically the staff who are working at HR. Now, I'm sure lots of you would understand the concept of emotional intelligence. You do, right? Lots of you would understand or know emotional intelligence. Now, Daniel Goleman made this concept famous in 1995. So there he talks about mainly 4 key competencies. One is self-awareness, then self-management, then he talks about social awareness, then he talks about relationship management. So mainly 2 areas. You have to understand yourself, then you'll have to think about to understand the people around you. So if you understand these 2 concepts, then obviously it is going to be really good for your whole organization. Specifically, the staff who are working in HR department, especially in, they have to understand the thinking of the team around them. So I think that is really one of the aspects that they can really contribute to the decision making. Because when it comes to really routine stuff, you are not really thinking beyond the box, beyond your not really the areas that HR really, the staff really wants. So I think that is one of the things that they can do. Understand the people, the HR head or the HR team can really contribute with data as well. The kind of things that the decision makers would want in your organization. I think so. That is one of the aspects that we'll have to think beyond the routine works.
All right. I think one of the key point that Aslam has highlighted is about emotional intelligence and how can it lead to HR practices that we have, and how can we utilize that concept in building that connection instead of just understanding our workers as simple employees. Let me ask my next question to Dr. Azda. What role should leaders play in creating where people can thrive, perform, and contribute at their highest potential?
So when we talk about culture, I would like to stress that culture is not what organizations write in their values document. So culture is what leaders do when they are faced with something costly. So first of all, before coming to the answer of the question, so let's look at some of the research findings that are related to this. A study conducted by Harvard professor Amy Edmondson, she wanted to study what factors actually contribute to a high performance team. And she found out that psychological safety was the most contributing factor for a high and effective team. So what is this psychological safety? It is when employees feel safe to speak up, to question, to admit to their mistakes without having the fear of being humiliated or punished. So this psychological safety is not actually created in a HR policy. It is created or destroyed every day by how leaders respond when someone challenges them. Also, another, we can look at the research of the Gallup data. So the recent Gallup data, it shows that every 3 in 10 employees, they actually strongly agree that their opinion matters at work. So think about this. Which means that, which actually tells us that 7 employees out of 10 are sitting in organization with their ideas, with their mindset, without actually sharing it with their leaders. So we can consider this as actually a waste of human capital. It's not actually a employee failure, it is actually a leadership failure. So what does a leader actually need to do? They need to model the behaviors they are actually asking for. They need to be the first one to say that, I was wrong, I don't know, what do you think? They should not actually, the leaders, they need to reward those people who expresses the real truth. The leaders, they need to focus on the growth of their employees. If we look at the culture of our Maldivian context, we can see that in our culture, hierarchy is highly respected. So questioning to a senior person is actually a risky thing. But effective leaders, even in our context, they would actually consider this, they would address it in the organizational structure itself. So leaders, they have to be culturally intelligent.
All right. I think it's very important for us to understand that when we talk about this transformation, we need to bring a cultural shift, the way we do things. Everything cannot be done just by making SOPs or having rules set by the leadership. Rather, we need to build a culture in a way that we really appreciate and we try to bring what is within the employees, and then try to bring that or try to use that advantage in the organization. Let me ask my next question to Ina. The expectations of employees are changing every day. what do you believe today's workforce values most, especially the younger generation, and how should organizations respond?
I think a lot of times, in my opinion, the biggest misconception is salary is the most important thing for an employee. I personally don't think so, although salary is really important. The income is what we all strive for. But if you actually look at it, for a lot of people, growth is the most important thing rather than salary, because at some point of your life, everyone is going to have a midlife crisis. That's what we say. Even though you get paid higher salary, if you don't feel like you're growing, then you are stuck somewhere. And I'm going to give an example here. Sarim back there is one of our employees. And 5 years ago, when we started, he was just bookkeeping. I was paying 3,000 rupiah a month for him just to do our taxes and bookkeeping. And he's also a relative of me, and I have known him my entire life. I know how smart and intelligent he is. And also his interest in photography and videography. And I think everyone from this island would know him as one of the best wedding photographers and video photographers. But I noticed those skills on him, and I encouraged him to develop it more. And I showed him a vision that we can work together to grow those skills. And he very quickly he bought an underwater camera setup. I taught him the skills that I know, underwater skills. He became a dive master. He's the only FPV drone pilot in the island. So he went into learning so many different skills: dive master, content creator, video, photo editing. And I own a red camera, and people who are in the filming industry, they know how complex it is to edit footage from this camera. So Sarim went back, he learned DaVinci, which is an application that you use for editing, and he became one of the best that I know for color grading underwater content. So what does that led him? Every time when I get a bigger commercial filming project or to a resort or to a liveaboard, he gets half of the money from the project, because he had never asked me to raise his salary. He had never asked me to pay him more. Every time when I say, okay, Sarim, I have this project coming in, I need you to practice your drone skills more. So he doesn't ask any question, he just go and improve his skill. We go, we do it, and then currently for spending money, he's earning more than I do monthly. In most months, he earns. So I think that's how you can retain people. That's how companies should grow, to add value to people and show them the path to grow in whatever field they are interested in. So now he's an accountant. He managed all my finances, company finances, all the content, all the big commercial projects I get, drone, all the weddings and divorces on the island. He celebrates everything. He leveraged that and make money of it. He always say when we talk about the divorce rate, he's like, it's good for my business, so they're gonna get married again. Like.
All right, thank you, Ina. I think all of the employers and the leaders, we need to have that mindset that we value our employees, and then try to build them along with the success of the company.
Can I add something to that? Okay, so one of the things I did last year is, we have a lot of competition on the island. We have 16 dive centers here on the island. Also in Maldives, there are over 700 dive centers registered and running in Maldives. So I was always looking, how can I be different as an organization? So one thing, again, this is for small companies, which I believe it can be done. So most companies, they're employee of the month. They put their picture on a board, or this person is employee of the month or whatever, small gift for whatever to them. But what I did was I took the whole team to Thailand as a team trip. Paid everything from their flights to accommodation to international flight, food, entertainment, everything. And what it created was a bond between all of us, a teamwork, a very strong trusting bond and a teamwork between us. And since I did the trip last year, I think it was June or July, till today, they are performing so much from the high of the trip. And one of the activities we did was, I was looking at things that we can do. And I was like, as shark divers who does go and swim with tiger sharks, 50, 40 tiger sharks every day, we need something more exciting in order to feel something. So I took all of them for skydiving. That's the next big thing I could do. So we did skydiving and everyone loved it. Again, I think as business owners and HR people, we have to, instead of, oh, you are employee of the month and give a certificate, whatever, but it has to be bigger and more than that if you can afford to do it, obviously.
All right. So we do understand the more we invest on our employees, the better our return itself would be as well. So let me ask my next question to Fahud. We all talk about AI and how it affect our lives. So when it comes to the artificial intelligence and automation, it is changing and our lives every day. So as Maldivian organizations or companies in the Maldives, how would we use this AI or prepare our employees for this rapid change in artificial intelligence and automation?
Thank you. I think the first thing is to change the mindset, the use of AI. I had a colleague who shared with me one of his story. He said when he was introducing computer to the workforce for the first time, they were using typewriters. They were reluctant to use computers, and they wanted to stick with typewriters. Imagine that. So, it's really difficult. The thing is that when we don't understand something, we tend to reject it, and most of the time we fight against it, right? So the most important thing is the mindset, to change the mindset, to make them aware the importance of it and how to be responsible to, when we are using a different technology. And not to be the tool for the technology, but we should be actually using the technology as a tool, right? So it's learning us actually, right? So the organization is going to be efficient, it's going to be more effective in the future. But as I said, the responsibility of the staff and how do we manage data, right? That's very important. And another thing is that, whether we like it or not, it's here. And we will have two segments of employees, one with the AI and without the AI. And I'm sure that with the AI, that's the way forward. So we should actually make people realize it, and also we should actually form policies and procedures as well in the future, and that will actually help the organization to succeed. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So let me ask one more question with regarding AI to Mr. Aslam. What are the opportunities and risks of using AI and digital technologies in HR, particularly in the recruitment, learning, and performance management?
Yeah. Now, when you think about HR function practices and AI, now the world has evolved a lot. We have already known from these, keynote speakers and all other sessions. Since 2010 onwards, so many things has happened, and there is so much of advancement. Now, still in the Maldives, if you think about, especially in, let's say, public sector, probably we are not that advanced, but still we are also using AI in our HR functions. Now, it has definitely given lots of opportunities, and also really the opportunity to think creatively for our HR staff as well, because so many of routine HR function can be really done through AI. Like we can shortlist, let's say, lots of when we get lots of candidates for one job. In fact, These days, when we open for job opportunities, we are getting more than 50, 60s, and 70 applicants. So it is really a long process if you have to go through manually. So AI can really help in those aspects. And also, when you think about learning, these days there's so much of opportunities through AI when we need to different SOPs and other aspects of making our work easier. AI can be a great help. But there's another side as well. One thing we'll have to understand is AI kind of gets what we feed to it, right? Obviously. So human factor has to be always there. Now, let's say you feed information of all the applicants. So based on that, the AI would give you a shortlisted names. But are they the best options for your job? So there is something human has to interact there. So there should be a way that we can really audit these algorithms and all that. So that is, I think, one aspect that the government also have been working on these days. And I think one of Afif's session, he mentioned that the country these days, we talked about, what is the name of the country? Estonia, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Estonia. So that is one of the things that they did very first, right? Really maintaining the governance aspect of it. So that is the thing we'll have to ensure that there's also, that we do it well. So that is the thing I think we'll have to focus on mainly. But before I move on, can I just mention one very short comment on the question that you focused to, Ina, because I'm really interested to put one comment there. Now, you talked about making people, staff motivated, right? Now, there are two types of motivation. One is the way Ina has mentioned, it is the paycheck. Normally, that's the way we do it. But then there's another aspect as well. Now, intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Now, intrinsic motivation is definitely the way forward. That is the way staff can be retained. Now, I can relate what Ina is doing in his organization to what Steve Jobs did during his time at Apple. So obviously, he was definitely not one of the easiest leaders or CEOs to be around with, definitely, difficult person. But he ensured his staff are really motivated. How? Not really giving big paychecks, but really, grilling them to make really the best products. The way Ina has done would be taking them to, different places for vacations and all that. Probably Ina has taken from his book, I think, probably. So there is something you can really intrinsically motivated. So they did not work for Steve Jobs because of the paycheck mainly, because of the environment that they can get, the growth, the learning experience that they get. So that is the way I think we can, retain staff.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Aslam. Also, talking about the HR, one of the area that comes to, one of the function of HR that comes to our mind often is the appraisal. At the end of each year, we do have appraisals done by, in the public sector as well as private sector, we do often find this. Let me ask this question to us, how can organizations move beyond the annual performance reviews or the appraisals and create a culture of continuous growth, coaching, and accountability?
We are discussing about 21st century HR practices, and still our organizations, we are doing annual performance reviews. So this annual performance review is one of the most widely practiced but most widely disliked organizational rituals, right? So I think most of the people in this room, from your personal experience, you know why it's ineffective. So we are talking about annual appraisals, annual performance appraisals. It's ineffective because employees, they get the feedback once a year or maybe twice a year. So by the time when the employees get feedback, there is no need for employees' performance improvement. So it's ineffective. Also, supervisors, they need to actually keep in mind those performance, those incidents that happened throughout the year. And then based on that, they are actually doing performance and giving feedback, so which may not actually be an effective way. So moving forward, what works is Continuous performance management, which may sound actually complicated, but it is actually really a very simple thing. So this, how this works is like supervisors and employees regularly they meet. So they have short conversations where they focus more on what is happening right now. So what is actually the performance of the employees. So they discuss about the challenges employees face and how they can overcome it, so that employees, they get real-time feedback. So employees can improve in a more effective way. And to do this continuous performance management, organizations, they first need to focus on developing managers, because managers, they are the one who actually give those feedback, who supervise them. So managers, they need to have the skill of being a coach, being a mentor, giving constructive feedback. So if managers are not developed, then continuous performance management may not actually work. And especially in our context, since we have a hierarchical barrier, organizations in our context, they need to focus on developing a feedback culture where these things are being addressed.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Azda. Before we open the floor for questions, let me ask one final question to Fahud. Imagine we meet again in 5 years. What would success look like for the HR profession in the Maldives? And what actions must we take today to make sure that future to a reality?
I think we should move out of HR. Yeah, need to focus not only just internal aspects, we need to focus on external aspects as well. Specifically the customers, you know, what we, from HR services, what we are doing an impact. I think that's the strategic thinking, right? So in the future, I would actually expect to, you know, to achieve this, we need to invest now. We need to invest in the people, in the technology, as well as, you know, changing people's mindset, right? So we need to ensure, like what Aina has said, right? We need more leaders like him. We can actually develop that mindset. We need to develop the leadership mindsets as such. I mean, to go the extra mile. So for HR professionals, you need to get out of your seat, get out of the HR, move around, talk to people, understand what is actually happening in the organization. What are the SBUs are doing, you know, what is the operation is doing, how it is really impacting the people, you know. And more specifically, you know, the leaders are actually the people who are making the climate of the organization. They are contributing to that. So we need to know how leaders are actually looking after their staff. You know? So I would actually want to see in 5 years' time, people to be more engaged, the HR people to be more engaged internally, as well as understanding what is the external aspects that is coming into the organization, and to prepare and to help employees to prepare for that. Because we couldn't have a successful organization without a future-ready employees, because organization is basically the employees in it. Right? So that's what I would say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all the panelists. Now we would like to open the floor for questions. In the audience, if there is anybody who would like to ask, you are most welcome.
Wow, it's amazing. Yeah, this is like one of the best panel discussions I have heard recently. It's like a international, you know, what we witnessed in Singapore. What we witnessed in Singapore, the HR conference, is almost similar to what I heard there. So thank you very much for all the panelists. Very inspired, very inspired. And I'm very happy to know that in this part of the world, I mean, this part of Maldives, we have similar mindset and thinking, and also the knowledge of HR, because I've been in HR for more than 2 decades, and also led a lot of big companies in the Maldives. So it's the same thinking that they all have. So we have a lot of potential in this Afunga city. I'm really happy to hear that. And Ina, so that's my opening comment. Just to share what I shared on the agile leadership, and then you mentioned a couple of things actually which got my attention. Like you found people whom you trust. So a lot of foundations you build, and then you mentioned about you don't care what they do, they care on the result. Yeah? So these are very foundational things. And then you took them to Thailand. And then you took them to skydiving. But if we don't have that foundation, for example, another institution like other institutions, if they don't have that foundation, they take their team to Thailand or Addu or maybe skydiving or wherever it is, it will not work. It will not work. Then people will complain, oh, we have been taking them to here and there and giving so many things, but it's not working. But so that I got a lot of learning from you, Ina. Thank you for a lot of stories, a lot of deep insight, yeah. And I commend all the other panelists as well for your sharing. Amazing. Thank you.
Question from here? ليه سؤال قد لبعنا عربي ما هو
Thank you. Very, very interesting discussion and very relevant. I want to see, your feedback or, views, maybe from you yourselves also. Most organizations in Maldives, we very much value this long service. We reward the long service awards. So if we retain people for like 30, 40 years, it's a very good thing. I think that's what we feel. So from an organizational point, is that something to be proud of? To have people work with you for 30, 40 years. If people do that, could it mean that they are too comfortable, stay with their comfort zones? So this concept of long service awards, and what is your take on this from an academic point or from practical point? I would like to see your views on that.
All right. So, Mayor, if the way that I phrased the question, if there is anything that you want to comment to it, we do have long service awards, and one of the things is, one aspect would be try to retain those employees for a long period of time. That's one thinking, or make them explore and then keep on building and moving from one organization to another organization. So what should we encourage? Yes, Paul.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. So when we talk about people serving an organization, right, those are the people who have the institutional knowledge. So rather than actually just only recognizing their long services, we need to actually recognize people who are contributing it back to the organization. So one thing is that we can actually give them training or development opportunities to how do we transfer the knowledge that they have gained all these years, and we need to celebrate that, right? Of course, serving an organization for a longer period of time, that's commendable, We have to recognize it. There's nothing wrong with it, but we need to make sure that when they leave, that they are able to transfer the knowledge for the next generation. So I have been working in several different organizations where people served for 40 years, more than their life. Basically, their life started there from 16 years old. So they saw every change that happened, everything that goes around the organization, from terms of changing people, policies, even the infrastructure itself. I would say they would know where the bricks are, how they started the foundation, all that. So we need to make sure that that knowledge is transferred to the next generation. And how do we translate that knowledge to the next generation as well? That should be the focus of, yeah. So there are several different things that we can do. We can codify their knowledge. Nowadays we can even, through their stories, we can even record them. And that will be inspirational. And we need to have people who are going to take it up and translate it to the people, maybe through internal trainings. Trainers can go through it, they can have a session with them, and most importantly, I think we are talking about different generations, right? So making sure that they meet and they are able to understand who did what, right? And to understand and to make sure that the next generation, the new generation value those people in the organization. All right? So yeah, that's my comment.
All right. Yes, Aslam.
Can I add one comment? Now, the way I think Mayor has phrased that question, the focus was probably when you think about public sector and private sector, the long-serving staff, the mentality and everything is kind of different. Now, I'll take one example. By profession, I'm a teacher. So when I was just starting teaching around 2000 and 2001, I met one teacher. He was one of my teachers when I was in my primary grades. He was one of my teachers when I was in my primary grades. So he was a teacher even then, 2001, I remember, if not wrong. Now, there was Minister of Education will come for supervision. So when supervision team came, he was not really ready. So he was informed, okay, today at this time, your class will be observed. So he sat in front of me and wrote everything. Now, during those days, so the lesson plans and everything will be written. So without looking anything, he just wrote his lesson plan and everything. He delivered the lesson plan, in the class. So I asked him, how do you do that? He said, I've been doing this for more than, then I think, if I'm not wrong again, he said about 17 or 20 or so years. He's been doing the same thing, teaching same content, same grade. If you think about teaching, those days we follow just same textbook, right? Following the same textbook, so that is what that's all you do. So he has by-hearted the whole thing. He just wrote everything, so he delivered it. So the point is, when you think about long service allowance and maintaining these staff for more than 20, 30 years in the organization, is it really adding value to the organization? Probably that's a question we have to ask. In public sector, normally the way our appraisal is done, and the way Dr. Azda has mentioned, I think it is not the best way to do it, definitely. I think we have to move away from that, really, our annual appraisal system. If you think about that, even in public service, in civil service also, it is not the way it is. But the way we are practicing is exactly once a year we'll be following, we'll be filling the forms and everything, right, giving feedback and all that. But that's not the way we have to do it. We can move to more agile and also more advanced systems, like there are management systems like OKR, or objectives and key results. I've been really seriously thinking about that. I think that is something. In fact, I have shared that system to our HR team as well. So just thinking whether there's any way we can implement it. I think that's a good way to do it. In that way, each and every member of the organization, whether it is let's say if it is private sector CEO, in our case, the mayor, myself, even our council assistants, we would know exactly the role that they would be playing. So that in that system, we'd be kind of following up every month what we have done, right? At least once a month, we'll be following up and we'll be reviewing, we'll be sitting together with the staff. I think that's the way to go forward. So this long-term service allowance, that's something we'll have to think about. It's not really adding any value to the organizations in public sector specifically. So that's the point I wanted to highlight.
All right. Ina, would you like to add one thing?
I think Aslam has mentioned about public sector, but for private sector, I think it's useless. It's completely useless to have long-term employees. And I'll give you why I say that, and I'll give you a couple of examples. So me and my brother, we are business partners, and he's 49 and I'm 38. Not a big difference, but there's a difference in age gap. So when I started the company, I brought him to the business because he's my brother. And at the beginning of the company, we were, everything that I envisioned how the company would run, he disagrees. So there was a lot of conflict between him and I. And also my second partner, Hattu, he's 51 years. So we have a huge age gap. So everything that I want to do, they don't understand it. So I came to an agreement on director's agreement that I am alone able to make all the decisions in the company. They don't get to say anything. And why I did it? Because of the age difference. So, and imagine Gen Z, Gen Alpha, if we try to manage them when they come to work environment. My son was telling me the 6th, 7th, in which I had no idea what it is. I had no idea. So imagine, like, if we don't adapt to that, I don't think we can adapt to that. I don't think we can understand the way they think and the way they experience in life, because with AI and with everything, the speed of development generally in the world is increasing so fast, we can't catch up. So I think every, I don't know, 5-10 years, then you have to change the team or you have to find something new. And what I do tell to my team is exactly the same, guys. This is not a long-term job. We are lucky in Maldives, we have service industry, and AI is not going to replace service industry. That's not a fear anyone should have. We are 100% based on service industry. No AI is going to come, hey, good morning, you know, like, how was your day? Nothing, it's not going to happen. The human connection is not going to, AI is not going to replace it. So we are in the service industry. But at the same time, I always say, guys, you need to learn skills. If AI is coming, we gotta learn AI and use AI in our job in the places where we can. For example, one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm training an AI agent who will speak and write emails like how I would do, and how Anne is our marketing, how she would do. And what it does is at night, overnight, this AI will draft an email exactly how I would respond, and in the morning I will check the draft, and if it is correct, and I can tell, okay, send it, and I can just send the email. What it does is it gives me more freedom to learn different skills or go and do different things. So at the end of the day, we should, the people that we have right now, we cannot let them go. We need to train them, we need to teach them to learn different skills and move on to their next stage of life, either starting their own business. My target is in next 5 to 10 years, every single employee that works for me to have their own business and have my circle of friends and employees very successful. So I essentially don't have to take care of anything. They all do their own things, and hopefully I'll be in a place, much better place as well.
All right. So thank you, Ina. So what we understand is talking about 21st century HR. It's very important that we focus on the context. So in a different context, the way that we practice, the way that we do things, it differs. So we don't have a plain sheet for that we can be used for all the situations. So that's something as HR professionals we have to keep in mind. There comes the end of this discussion. So I would like to ask one final question, if you can answer very briefly, not more than 30 seconds each panelist. What is one piece of advice you would give to your young HR professionals who aspire to become influential leaders in shaping the future workforce of the Maldives? Very briefly. If you would like to comment, you're welcome.
Yeah. For the HR professional, young HR professionals, I would suggest that learn how to talk business, learn the strategy, try to find what is the strategy of the organization, and then relate it to HR. So when you go to meetings, talk about strategy, talk about the business. Talk about the business, talk about the strategy, then relate it to human resources, so that, because we need to focus on strategic human resource management. With strategic human resource management means all the functions of HR, we try to relate it to the strategy of the business. Thank you.
Anybody else would like to add?
I would like to add, just as a young HR professional, enjoy, have fun. Understand your staff, but not the way HR is taken. Is the HR is always kind of controlling. It's just one place where any employee does not want to go. I mean, normally they don't want to go because it's always kind of negative. So have that positive attitude, right? Make sure that you smile before everybody else in the organization. So maintain that positive thinking, positive energy, then I'm sure that you're going to be fine then.
Ina?
I think HR or human resources, whatever we call it, that's one of the most important department in any organization. I think Afif and people who've been in the industry very long, in the resorts of Maldives, at least that I have seen, a lot of from HR people goes to general manager position. People that I know have been in that position. They start their career either housekeeping or like HR. And there's a reason for that, because you understand human value more than anyone else. To understand that, again, is different our generation to younger generation. Like Aslam said, you need to make it fun and attractive. And to be fair, now, social media, that's one of the most important skill as HR professional, business professional, anyone can learn is social media skill, and use that as a platform to reach to the audience. The audience is Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And make it fun, make it exciting, in a way make it Instagrammable, the work environment. That's what the future generation is going to be attracted to, because that's what they see in their phone. It's something as little as, you know, what you do in the office day-to-day basis, just that. It will never change, like I said. The human element is never going to replace by AI. But the way the younger people receive those information is the key. So that's what the skill everyone needs to master.
Paul, one final closing remarks?
Yeah, I would say stay curious, yeah. And there is more than what meets the eye in an organization. It's complex, people are different, we have unique people all around us, right? And to stay optimistic, because as HR professionals, there is no other way. Because the organization is going to go through several different stages, yeah? So there will be a lot of things coming in. We cannot expect, sometimes, you know, next day there might be something surprising going on. So be optimistic, yeah? That's the only way that we can. And another component is that we are supposed to be mediators, where HR professionals are the advocate of both the employees as well as the organization. So we have to think the point of the employees as well as the organization. So yeah, that's the final comment. Thank you.
All right, so there comes the end of this panel discussion. Thank you all the panelists. As we have heard today, the future of HR is not simply about managing people. It is about creating environments where people can perform, they can grow, they can innovate, and contribute meaningfully. The organizations that succeed in the future will be those that invest not only in technology and systems, but also in the mindset, the capabilities, and well-being of their people. The future of work begins with the decisions we make today. Thank you.
Thank you, our moderator and all the panelists. We now come to the final keynote presentation of today's program. It is my pleasure to invite Mr. Afif Hussain, Vice President of MAHRP, to deliver the closing keynote, followed by an interactive discussion and question and answer session. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Afif Hussain.
Thank you, thank you. Once again, can we give a round of applause to the panel? Wow, what a great panel discussion it was. I mean, it's great learning, and I love the perspective that you brought. I love a quick recap. I love the fact. I think your teaching and sharing was very much like there's a book called No Rules, which is a book related to the Netflix culture. No wonder why Netflix worked with you, by the way. Now we know why they didn't go to anybody else and they went to you, right? Because they actually don't have any rules. They basically say, like, Reid Hoffman say basically the same thing, right? He goes like, if this is your work, you do it, you get the result, right? And I like how Ahmad linked with values and then results. So great. Aslam, I also like the fact that you spoke about the role of HR, especially in your closing remarks about, as young HR professionals, it's important to enjoy. And the best way to enjoy is to learn and keep it fun and exciting, right? And I'm glad that you challenge all of us on this performance appraiser thing. Absolutely right. Because the big companies in the world, they're slashing the performance appraisal system and make it more conversational, more regular. You rightly highlighted, and of course, you're from the academia, so we would love to work with you on that. And of course, Fauda, speaking really about the reality of the HR world today. And Shafi, great moderation and to the point. So once again, a round of applause, everyone. Now, my role today was to do a closing keynote, and of course, time is money. In fact, can you tell to the person next to you, time is money? Yeah. Which means I thought I would do something very different. I'm going to give you 5 things. I call it as the rule of 5. If you take these 5 points, whether you are a young HR professional, whether you are a leader, whether you are a leader that has already been serving, you will always be on the path to excellence. So as I teach these 5 points very quickly, I would love you to write them down somewhere. I see some of you are taking notes, which is good, or some of you can also, or most of you are using your devices to take notes, perfectly fine. Or you could even adapt yourself and to record this using the voice note take, and then you can run through AI, so it will summarize it for you. Right? So, all of us, I believe, wants to get better, right? Is there anybody here who wakes up and say, Afif, I don't want to get better? Yeah. No, right? Is there anybody who goes to work and say, whose day I can ruin? Anyone? No. What? I mean, you go to work, everybody says, we want to create a higher purpose, right? That's why we need to be people who are on the path to progress. The rule 5 for you to achieve excellence, number 1, lead yourself. Please write that down. Lead yourself. Which means you cannot create excellence if you don't lead and look after yourself, because it also comes down to looking after yourself, making sure that you are learning before anyone else, right? And you have to adapt yourself. You have to look at what is happening. I love your example around working with your brother and some other partner, and they get along, but you had a bigger vision. Sometimes they may not see your vision, but if you're somebody who's good in leading yourself, you will make tough decisions that actually they will follow you, because along the way, they will also learn from you. And I'm sure that's what has happened in this whole partnership thing, right? So number 1 is lead yourself. Number 2, learn leadership every day. Every day. Every day means like every day, right? Okay? So even Friday, you have to learn. Right? Because it's so important thing. And the day you stop learning is the day that you will not grow any further. Because in our life, we have 2 choices. One is we either get old or we grow old. What do you want? I see some of you looking at yourself. Don't worry. Some of them you have no chicken. You are going to get old anyway, because that's by nature, right? But choice of growing or growth is a decision that we make every day. That's why you have to read. I mean, nowadays, what excuse do we have? A single and a simple prompt can teach you a topic that you may not know. Right? And things that we used to pay 10 years ago, now is free. Right? And that's really an important element. So number 2 is making sure that you learn every single day. Number 3, teach leadership to other people every day. Which means what you learn, give back, right? Sharing is an important thing. I mean, now rightly mentioning about social media, I think probably all of us here use one platform or the other. Some of you are very good in all the platforms. I mean, in today's world, you can get good in anything you want. If you want to get good in scrolling, then you're seeking it very good, right? Yeah, like if every day you spend 5 hours on scrolling, all right, why not change that to learning and also teaching to other people. And teaching could be sharing something on a social platform, or a good practice, share with other people. And this is an important element. Now, the 4th is one of the most important element. Remember, the number 1 is, what is number 1? Lead yourself. Number 2? Yeah, number 3? Number 4 is practice leadership. Imagine you learn and you teach and you're not the role model. I mean, forget it. Right? One of the biggest leadership problem in the world, not only human resource, but in the organization, is that we don't do what we say that we are going to do. Therefore, for example, if you're a leader, you organize a town hall meeting in your team, and you're the one who is sending a text message and saying, please be there on time at 9 o'clock. They all go there at 45. They're looking like, where's my manager? Right? And the group at the front there, when the manager comes, they go, you see what time he came? True, right? Yeah? So, practice leadership is absolutely critical. Number 5, the last one of rule 5. Intentionally, you have to grow. Because, for example, if your organization and department is here, to get over here, it doesn't happen automatically. You have to be very intentional around what is the next step we are going to do, what are we going to learn, how we are going to get there. And I think to that particular last point, intentionally grow, what we covered today is really an important 2 competencies. Because to intentionally grow, you've got to have the growth mindset. Number 2, you've got to be somebody who is agile. So if you learn something that applies, how quickly I can adapt and transform my organization. There are 5 rules that I shared with you. What is number 1? Very good, lead yourself. Number 2, learn leadership. Number 3, teach. Right? Because knowledge is not power unless you give it to other people. Right? Wake up and give knowledge to other people. And number 4, practice. You've got to be the role model. If you say, here's what I'm going to do, right, make sure you deliver, right? Sometimes we may not get it right, but at least we know we are on the right path if we are continuously practicing it. Last one is, good. These 5 will build the future leader for now and beyond. Because the world is moving at a very fast speed. And our wish and encouragement to all of you is that you are someone who takes this personal responsibility in living those. Because change starts with you. And we have heard from all of our speakers today and the panel discussion, it was all relating one particular message, right? It was about if you want to change, start with yourself first. So I invite all of you as we close our HR Best Practice Share session and hand over to our MC for some token of appreciation, that all of you to join with me in the journey of being someone to get away from all the excuses, blaming other people, and shaming other people. Like if something goes in your office, don't go and say, well, my department is the best department. It's that department's problem. Like, for example, something goes wrong. Oh, no, it's not the slides problem. It's the projector. Right? We need to be someone and a team collectively take personal responsibility. So the last energizer for this afternoon, by the way, this is an motivation to you, so you give enough time for this, right? We have a delicious lunch arranged outside for you. So you can burn maybe some calories for this activity. Is that good? Right? I see when I say lunch, some of you are like, oh, thank God. This is good. This is good. That's also a part of growth mindset. Right? So, join with me. Take your right hand, everybody. Everybody, right? Say with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Take. Those were at the cargo section, by the way. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Take personal responsibility. And turn to your learning partner and go like, take personal responsibility. Very good, very good. So, from tomorrow, if one department to the other department comes and complains to you, and if you are the HR department leader, what would you say to them? Good. If an employee complains to you, what would you say? That would be a problem. And that you didn't learn from here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to thank all of you, and I would like to hand over to our MC to do some offshore token of appreciations. And we hope that you have learned something new. Either we have refreshed your mindset and really align the future of the human resource leader. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Afif, for an inspiring presentation and for leaving us with valuable insight to take back to our organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to recognize and thank our speakers and partners for their valuable contribution to today's program. May I kindly invite Mr. Ali Adam, General Secretary of MAHRP, to the stage to present token of appreciation to our speakers. Panel moderator, Mr. Shafiu Ali. Panel speakers, Dr. Aishat Azda, Mr. Aslam Rashid, Mr. Ahmad Ina, Mr. Fahdullah Yamin, keynote speaker Mr. Iyaz Wahid, Thank you very much, Ali. May I now invite Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim, President of MAHRP, to present our special token of appreciation. Appreciation to Zikura International College, Mr. Muhammad Amir, Deputy Vice Rector. Appreciation to Formula City Council, Mr. Ismail Rafiq, Mayor, Formula City Council. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad Ibrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for all our speakers and partners. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings the formal proceeding of the MAHRP HR Best Practice Share 2026 to a closer. Fasten your seat belts. It's going to be a little bumpy ride. Mr. Afif is going to, for the final remarks, I would like to invite Mr. Afif on stage. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to do a couple of things, probably in the next 5 minutes. We also have a special token of appreciation from Zikura College to MAHRP team. May I please invite Ahmad Ibrahim, President of MAHRP, and together with Ali Adam, and of course our EXCO member, about to be here. And I'm on the stage. I can join also. Right? Thank you. Yes. And we invite Amir, of course, to hand over the token of appreciation from Zikura College to our team. Thank you. Can I join the photos? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Ahmad, you may stay on the stage. Yeah. Very good. We also would like to present a special book to a leader that we know who lives by growth mindset. May I please invite Mayor Ismail to receive a book on mentoring, because you mentor a lot of people. We thought this would be a great gift from MAHRP. Please, Muhammad can hand over this. Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you. Ahmad will say. And also, may I please invite everyone to put your hands together for our MC today, Patut Rashid, for your role in organizing our MC arrangements for the event. Thank you. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We all want to create a change, right? Do we? Yeah. Very good. Who wants this book? Good. Who wants this book? Good. Who wants this book? Very good. Oh, come here, come here. Three of you come onto the stage. Stay here, stay here, stay here. Three. It's interesting because, and by the way, we gave this book to Yas, and he's got a copy of this, so he said to give it away. Thank you, Yas, for. In fact, I could invite you onto the stage to hand over the book. By the way, this is an interesting thing because when I asked who wants this book, some of you started running. Now, some of you, I saw your colleagues are about to go, and you said, no, don't go, wait, he won't give it, don't worry. Right? Because, so we, everybody had the opportunity, right? So here's our request to you. We are going to give this book to one of you, and you're going to read it, and they're going to give it to the other person. So every time you read and you write a message, and then once it's completed, the book can go to the council library, which means you know that you'll be the last person to get. It's the nicest way to say that you're going to give it to her. Right? Yeah. Wait. So if you work in the same office? In the council, right? Okay, very good. Dirag, right? We can start with Dirag, so maybe, yes. But we like to take a photo of three of you together. Please, as long as you can join. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. And by the way, we took the photo, so we will follow up on this. So, to make sure. Very good. We're going to take a group photo. Now, in order for us to take the group photo to make it easier for all of us, we're not going to invite you onto the stage, but you are going to be seated where you are. And if I can ask you to turn your chair this way, so you all, and may I invite the photographers onto the stage, please? Right, onto the stage. I said, you know what we're going to do. You have done this with us a few times, right? Yeah. And by the way, what's your name? Do you take great photos? He said, I hope. Okay, this photo you will take is the best photo you have taken so far this year, which you will take now. Okay? Very good. You see he's excited? Right? Yeah, come over here. So, may I request everyone just to, just look at the camera, and we're going to take a nice photo as you will stand in the audience. So look at the camera, right? Very good. Wonderful. Hold on. Very good. It's interesting because the two colleagues of you who are at the back, right? They're from your team. They're the one who goes like, The rest of you are like, that's more like a fixed mindset, right? Like, okay, this is how we used to do photos for 23 years, so I'm going to stay like this. Growth mindset means, yeah. So let's practice. I'm also going to sit down next to me at the seat over here. When I sit down, I'm going to say, ta-da! Everybody's going to go like, ta-da! Can we practice together? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Good. You all deserve a great lunch. Before we do lunch, let's do this properly. All right, everybody. Cameraman's ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Ta-da! One more time. 1, 2, 3, go! All right. Now hold on. Isn't this the best photo you took this year? Didn't I tell you that? That's called growth mindset, right? Can we give them a round of applause, everyone? Yeah. Before we close the event, I would like to take one more time to thank the leadership team, the chairman, the leadership team of the Zikura College, Amir, and the entire team, especially Nizar for coordinating us, as I mentioned this morning. City Council for your support and collaboration. We look forward to coming back. This is a wonderful city, and we will come back and contribute. And of course, everybody else who actually coordinated and support us in this regard. We know the event is also live on YouTube. Therefore, all the participants of MAHRP and through Zikura College, we thank you for joining us virtually into this session. We do have a lunch that is arranged, so please do take time to have a good lunch and network and get to know each other and have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you.